What's up, nerds? My name is Cory Bergeron. You are watching Cory Bergeron Recordings, and we're back with a brand new video. 2 years ago, I made a video called Should You Go to School for Audio Production? And in this video, I organized and summed up all my thoughts on the subject. If you've been on any sort of audio forums, you have seen everybody ripping on the idea of going to school for audio production, and that it's a waste of time, it's too expensive, and that you can't get a job. And these things may be true, but in my experience, audio school gave me the foundation I needed. I took it when I was 18 years old, and from there I was able to build off it very quickly, and that helped me achieve all the things that I've achieved today. I went to audio school. I got a full-time job at a recording studio. I became the head engineer of the recording studio, and right now I manage the recording studio. On top of that, I play in a band. My band got signed, and we have toured over 10 different countries. I've worked with several different bands, recorded for reputable labels, and I've also recorded bands from different countries. Now, I'm not saying that if you go to audio school, you will guarantee to be able to do all of the things that I've been able to do. What I am saying is, if I did not go to audio production school, I would not have been able to create the opportunities and take advantage of the opportunities in front of me that led to me being able to do all the things that I have been able to do. I recommend to go watch that entire video. I'll leave a link in the top of the description, especially if you are considering going to audio school. I do make some very good points and share my experience in that video. Okay, now for this video, I've actually found my final project that I handed in for my college program, my audio production program, and I think that's interesting because that is a really good way of evaluating my abilities at the end of the college program, and maybe that will shed some light on how good you will be after taking a college program. So I guess for just a little bit of backstory, my college program was 3 semesters, it was 45 weeks, and it was all condensed into 1 year. So I went to school from September and I finished in August. I took it right out of high school, finished the program, and I was still 18 years old. Okay, so in front of me I actually have a video of my final project. What I decided to do was I decided to record a band live off the floor, and I actually called on a favor from one of my video buddies. He came in and he videotaped the entire experience. The criteria for the final project was that you had to record to 2-inch tape. So I actually recorded this track to an MCI 2-inch tape machine, as well as I believe you needed to record a certain amount of inputs at the same time. But since I was doing it live off the floor, I definitely exceeded all of that. All right, so let's take a look at the video and at the song, and let's listen to my abilities after completing college. Okay, 30 seconds is all we need to understand that it doesn't sound very good. But what I'm seeing is that I was able to set up a live performance video using 16 plus microphones going into an analog console, and then that's going into an MCI tape machine. I had to set up individual headphone mixes for everybody. This proves that I have a good understanding of signal flow, that I'm able to problem solve, as well as I know how to maneuver around a studio and successfully record a live performance. You can also see in this video that I set myself up for failure from the start because I have the amps here, I have the drums in front of the amps, and then I have the singer in the middle. So I have the guitars and the cymbal microphones, the cymbals and the guitars, and then the cymbals and the guitars in the vocal microphone. I couldn't think of a worse way to actually set this up. It obviously limited the flexibility with all the tracks, but even with that being said, I had only mixed maybe a handful of songs up until this point, so it's not like I had much experience mixing. It's easy to say now that no matter what would have happened in that session, with the lack of experience I had then, it probably would have reached a similar outcome no matter how I recorded it. Okay, I think there's something that's a much bigger takeaway, bigger than the 2 things that I just mentioned, and it's something that's really tough to see in the moment, and it's something you probably don't consider very much when you're looking at taking an audio production course. So I asked this band's called Old Rules, if they wanted a free live recording and I would get my buddy to film it. So obviously the band said yes, they're gonna get a free product. From there, I started building a relationship with them. Up until that point, I wasn't really friends with them. I saw them play live a couple times, but from there I met them all individually and started building that relationship. I finished the program. They're looking to do an EP. I told them I would do it for free, so then I get the experience of recording that EP. While recording it, I ended up filling in for one show on guitar with them, and then I also ended up replacing the bass player who left the band. So I actually joined the band. From there, we played a few out-of-town shows, and one of those out-of-town shows we actually played with this band called Safe to Say. So that's when I met the guys in Safe to Say. Fast forward a little bit, and I ended up recording a second EP with Old Rules, and that EP ended up impressing the guys in Safe to Say, so that made Safe to Say want me to work on their next EP, and that EP turned out to be Hiding Games, and during the recording of Hiding Games, I actually ended up joining Safe to Say, and that all happened within like 2 years. I think I joined that band when I was 20 years old. Fast forward another 5 years, Safe to Say turns into Locket, and within those 5 years, I ended up recording a ton of other bands and honing in my craft, basically slowly achieving all the things that I've achieved up until this point, and now I play in a serious band, a international touring band, and yeah, I record music, I mix music professionally. That is what I do. That is how I make all my money. I feel like I've achieved a certain standard and quality with my productions that if you come to work with me, you know what kind of quality you're gonna get, which took some time to get there, and it took a lot of experiences, but that's how it works, I guess. Okay, so the point I'm trying to make out of that whole spiel there is when I was 18 years old, I took that program. So that gave me a really solid foundation. So in my late teens and into my early 20s, when you're like most flexible and have no responsibilities, I was able to gain a lot of experience playing with bands and recording a bunch of other bands and failing and, I don't know, growing as a human being. And all those experiences led to me being where I'm at today. And as I concluded in the original video, I don't think any of these things would have happened if I didn't go to audio school. Knowing me, especially knowing me at 18 years old, I would have told everyone that I'm really interested in doing music production, but then I probably would not have put the work in, or I wouldn't have really even known where to start putting the work in, and then years and years and years would have gone by, and then eventually I probably would have gave up on it because I would have been discouraged, and who knows where I'd be. Maybe I'd have a real office job right now, making a ton of money. Maybe I ruined my life going to audio production school, who knows? Okay, so the point of this video. In this video I just wanted to demonstrate how good I was, what my abilities were coming out of college, and they clearly were not very good. Should you go to school for audio production? I don't know, you should watch the video in the top of the description because I go into detail and I talk about that subject very specifically. The reason why I made this video was just to kind of show you where I was at when I finished school, and hopefully that motivates you or encourages you in some way, or hopefully it was just entertaining or educational or whatever. Yeah, I thought that was interesting, so I wanted to share it. That is it for this video. If you have not, be sure to subscribe to this channel. Make sure to drop a like and let me know if you went to audio production school in the comments. If you are releasing new music anytime soon, consider using my DistroKid link. You can save 7% if you use the link distrokid.com/VIP/whatsupnerds, and that supports the channel, which is very cool. If you want to talk about audio or talk about my band Locket at all, be sure to join the Discord. I have a Discord server. There will be a link for that in the description. If you're curious about any of the gear that I use here at home or any of the live gear that I use when I play on tour with my band Locket, I have an Amazon store in the description as well. You can click on that and you can see what I use. And I think that is it. That is all I'm plugging in this video. Thank you very much for watching. Create more audio production.